This year is the 70th anniversary of the end of Russia's Great Patriotic War. On Wednesday afternoon, Chinese veterans of the war and the offspring of the war's leaders received 32 Jubilee Medals at the Russian Embassy in China to commend their sacrifice and contributions. The war is also known as a series of conflicts that occurred between 1941 and 1945 along the fronts of the Eastern Campaign of World War II between the Soviet Union and Nazi Germany. 98-year-old Li Zaide is one of few Chinese veterans who received training in the Soviet Union and survived the war, as well as the brutal Soviet-Japanese War of 1945.
In 1932, at the age of 15, my mother got into anti-Japanese activity and later became a guerrilla in northeast China. Around 1938, she retreated into the Soviet Union city of Khabarovsk with my father. Soldiers from China, Korea, and the Soviet Union were reorganized into the 88th Brigade of the Soviet Far East Command there. My parents and other Chinese soldiers received training from Soviet officers. This brigade played an important role in the Soviet-Japanese War of 1945. Statistics show that tens of thousands of soldiers died, and only less than 100 survived from the war. Only a few veterans of that war were still alive. My mother is one of them.
79-year-old Li Min, daughter of former Chairman Mao, spent most of her childhood in a kindergarten in the Soviet Union city of Ivanovo. The school was established especially for the children of leaders of communist countries during the war.
I was about 3.5 years old when I arrived at the kindergarten in Ivanovo. I spent 7 years here. At that time, food was rather scarce. The situation was better for children like me, although I still felt hungry often. But at least we had something to eat. I remember our teacher taught us Russian, math, music, and dancing.
Ambassador Andrei Denisov said the people of the Soviet Union and China paid an uncountable price for their victory in the war, adding that young people from both sides should remember this part of their history. He also spoke highly of China's contributions to the war effort.
70 years ago, most of them were still children or teenagers, but they also made their contributions for victory in the war. Some of them worked in factories and farms and produced necessities for our soldiers, and some even worked in hospitals or medical stations in the army. Because they fought together with our people during the war, we want to express our gratitude towards them.
53 Chinese were scheduled to receive medals at Wednesday's event, but 21 were absent, according to an embassy official. China and Russia will hold about 60 joint activities as part of a combined celebration of the 70th anniversary of the end of World War II, including mutual visits from the leaders of both countries.